Jeffrey Epstein, a millionaire known by the entire world. Politicians, celebrities, billionaires, everyone was inside his circle. But behind the private island, the luxury mansions, and the private jets, there was one of the darkest stories of recent years. How did his network work? Why did he avoid consequences for so long? And what really happened in his cell? Who was Epstein? Epstein started as a math teacher, but quickly moved into finance in a way that still raises eyebrows. No degree, no formal qualifications, yet suddenly he was working on Wall Street. Later, he created his own investment fund, allegedly for only the wealthiest clients. He built his public image through connections, photos with former presidents, royalty, actors, businessmen. Epstein wanted to look like a man who knows everyone, and that opened many doors. His island and properties. Over time, testimonies from young women began to surface. They claimed that in his properties there were massages in huge quotation marks and situations too graphic to describe on YouTube. According to witnesses, he had a whole recruitment network. In his residences, the rule was basically, do whatever Jeff says.
One witness described your penis as oval-shaped and claimed when erect it was thick towards the bottom but was thin and small towards the head portion, and called it egg-shaped. Those are not my words, I apologize. But as Mr. Critton has stated, that this is a... I'm willing to continue.
The first arrest and the secret deal. In 2005, the police began an investigation. It seemed like an obvious case, and yet suddenly prosecutors reached a secret agreement with Epstein. Instead of years in prison, Epstein pleaded guilty to a minimal charge, served 13 months, and was allowed to leave jail for up to 12 hours a day for work. And this is where the first theories appeared. According to some, he was protected by people from the police, and according to others, by individuals from the government or high elites. The facts, however, are simple. The sentence was suspiciously light.
Mr. Epstein, how long have you been sexually attracted to underage minor females?
Objection, harassing, argumentative.
Are you kidding?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm divulging any secrets here, right?
Move to strike.
Mr. Epstein, were you sexually abused as a minor?
Again?
Were you sexually abused as a minor?
You know, I'd like to respond to all your, if any, questions seem to be relevant, but I would like to respond to any relevant question at this time. However, my attorneys have counseled me that I cannot provide answers to the questions relevant to this lawsuit today. I must accept their advice or risk losing my Sixth Amendment right to effective representation. Accordingly, then, I assert my Fifth, Sixth, and 14th Amendment right to the United States Constitution.
Second arrest and shocking discoveries. In 2019, the FBI entered his properties again. This time, the evidence was overwhelming. They seized thousands of photos and recordings, financial documents, lists of visitors. The media exploded. The names included politicians, billionaires, actors, even royalty. Not everyone on the list was guilty, of course not, but the sheer scale of connections was alarming. Death in the cell. In August 2019, Epstein was found dead in his cell. Official version, suicide. But the controversy began immediately. Facts: the cameras had a sudden malfunction. Both guards fell asleep or browsed the internet. Documentation was falsified. The injuries weren't typical for suicide. And then came the theories like that someone from the elites had a reason to silence him, that too many important people could have been exposed, that he knew too much about influential people. These are questions, not claims. But even official reports confirm multiple severe violations in the prison. What remains after Epstein? After his death, a wave of lawsuits began. Many victims received compensation from his estate. Ghislaine Maxwell, his associate, was later sentenced to decades in prison. But many questions remain unanswered. How did Epstein really build his wealth? Why did he avoid consequences for so long? Who was he protecting? And what truly happened that night in his cell?